Alright folks, this is going to be putting a wood stove together. This is a, get the tripod up here a little closer. This is the parts. I've already unboxed it. Everybody can see unboxing videos. It's just opening a box and checking for parts. Got my tools sitting there ready to go. That part of the stove comes assembled. Thing weighs close to, I didn't look at it, but it's over 100 pounds. So I took it apart in the truck, in the box, and put it over here and laid it out. Now this is probably going to be a pretty boring video. And the instructions, I'm not going to read it because there's not enough parts here to even be remotely complicated to me anyway. So we're going to put the legs on it first. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. Here's the flue dampers, plates that go on the top. You know what I really do not like about this stove is the simple fact that the fool thing's made in China. You can tell me that the American can't make a cast iron stove for less money than it costs to ship this heavy ass box all the way from China. I didn't realize that till I opened up the thing. This is not a Wolfgang, but I mean, hell, it'll have to do. This is a bigger of the two. The other one I've got in the shed is quite a bit. Let me check these connection bolts here. This one here, that looks like it may need to go over a little more. It wasn't assembled quite all that good. I always want to check your bolts. You don't want this thing falling apart while it's fired up in your house. They're going by quantity, not quality. They're properly done. Well, I see probably why they got it on sale so cheap. Chinese made piece of shit. Alright. First off, if you buy this stove, you're going to have to get some bricks for the legs. Because let me show you something here. They have designed this so the legs of this stove will fit on this piece right here, this front piece, that is only supported by two screws. Two screws, folks, on some cast iron. So I guarantee you, I would, before I put this in the house, I would also brace underneath of this with some bricks in case there was an accident. But on the other hand, you know, this stove right here is something I hope I never really have to use, because if I have to fire this stove up for more than a novelty, shit has done hit the fan. So now this is not a stove I would recommend for somebody's cabin or something as a poo hitting the fan cheap stove. It's all right, but now you better go with a American-made Wolfgang stove than this Chinese piece of shit. If worse come to worse, if I did have to use it, I'd probably just go ahead and take the legs off and put the firebox on some fire brick and just let it actually sit on the brick instead of using the legs on this, because heat and rust could make these bolts fail, and if you're asleep when it fails, a wood stove firebox laying on your floor, burn your house down and everything else. So if I ever have to use this, I will be putting bricks. Probably just take the legs off, but for looks, that's the only reason I'm putting this one together. Gonna put it by the fireplace just for looks. I mean, it could work in a pinch if I had to for a temporary thing, but for any regular use, I would definitely recommend putting regular brick underneath these, because these legs on this will be quite flimsy. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to show you a little something that I'm doing to this particular stove for the simple reason that it's probably, hopefully never going to be used, but it's also going to be close to the floor, so it's going to have moisture exposed to it. Let me go ahead and finish tightening this up. I'm going to paint with Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer. These bottom legs, these bolts, everything on the bottom of this stove, where moisture, condensation, all that stuff might gather and cause it to rust. Because technically, unless there's poo hitting the fan, this is going to be a mostly for looks, but it is functional. It is a functional stove. But around all these steel nuts and everything, and this may also require that if I do have to use the stove, I may have to bring it outside and build a fire in it first and let the paint burn off of it, which isn't a bad deal anyway, because I mean they've got factory paint on here that sometimes it smokes up when you first use a stove. But anyway, I'm just spraying around these legs with an extra coat of Rust-Oleum rust preventative paint, doing the bottom, and I'll probably do parts of the top too. Anything that might be get rust on it. So that's just a little something I'm doing to keep it looking good while it's in the house, taking up space in front of the fireplace. This will give me a place to put my cast iron Dutch oven on top of it, maybe the cast iron clothes iron. I got a cast iron tea kettle. So the stove inside in front of the fireplace will make a little display thing for some of my antique cast iron cookware. All right, folks, I'm going to flip this over now that the legs have dried. Got to be careful. This is cast iron, and although cast iron is very strong, it can be brittle. So you do not want to just let it drop. And as for all of y'all say that I'm so out of shape I can't lift nothing, I'm moving around something in excess of 100 pounds. Turn it around so the camera can see it there. All right. Now, of course, we got this little gizmo here. Let's see what goes on. Let's do the door. The door looks like it just has some pins. So this is a Logwood. Line it up. But don't let your children chew on this. It's probably got asbestos in it. So all you Yankee retards, yeah, don't be eating on the asbestos fireproofing. Cool beans. Looks good, like a good stove, even if it's not as good as the Wolfgang models that I have seen. Oops. Little gizmo sits in here. And by the way, it does not come with a grate. That's extra. So you go ahead and get ready to spend an extra, I don't know what they're, about 20 bucks or so. Let's see if this goes in there. intakes here. Makes about no sense. Should be able to cover that up though, if you needed to. Alright, that goes there. This here gizmo goes in here like so. Gives you a little flapper. Notice burn hazard. Don't touch it while it's hot. Let me make sure I got this in the camera here. Yeah, okay, you can see it. And last but not least, there's these other gizmos. Like so. So. Not a real good fit, but like I say, Chinese piece of shit. Probably why I got it so cheap, right? Go ahead and put the little lifter handle in here for looks, so it can stay in there. Anyway, that's what the stove looks like when it's together. Could put the little handle thing on here, like so. And there you have it, folks. The stove.